Hey, I'm James.
I'm Sam.
Pleasure to meet you, Sam.
Nice to meet you too.
Tell me, what do you study at UGA?
I'm a grad student in the School of Ecology, and I do my research in wastewater treatment systems. And the reason is less than half of people around the world have access to sanitary wastewater treatment. So I study ways to make wastewater treatment cheaper and more effective and easier to do, and also safe for the animals that use those systems as habitat and the people that live close to them.
Wow. I thought that was very... So, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, could you tell us a little bit more about your research?
Sure. Well, I do research to try to make wastewater treatment cheaper and easier and safer for the 60% of people around the world, about 4 billion people who don't have access to sanitary sewage treatment. So they have they face the possibility of coming into contact with human waste and disease just through their drinking water and food consumption.
So this is something that you're looking at particularly in developing countries?
Well, my research actually takes place here in Georgia, but it has applications all over the world, especially in developing countries that don't have the kind of wastewater treatment that we have here in the United States.
Will any of the things you're working on serve to improve the wastewater treatment that we already have in the U.S.?
Yeah, so a lot of the wastewater treatment that we have in the United States, the systems are old. They've been in place for decades, and a lot of them are leaky, or they're not adequate to serve the population that they're in place to serve. So the types of systems that I often work in are called constructed wetlands. They basically just look like marshes and swamps, but they're built by people to treat wastewater. And the additions of those kinds of systems to systems already in place actually could help to bring up to speed all of the wastewater treatment that is lacking in the United States.
So you said that these things look like marshes.
Yeah.
How exactly does it work?
Well, we've known for decades that the organisms, the microbes and the plants that live in wetlands like marshes and swamps are actually really good at filtering wastewater. And so because humans can build these things, they can make holes in the ground and fill them with water and plant plants in them, we know that this can actually treat the wastewater that goes through them.
So what about things like chemical spills and the news coming out of West Virginia? People are struggling to get clean drinking water. Would this kind of system work there?
Yeah, we think it can. A lot of facilities like industrial chemical production plants, as well as factories, have used constructed wetlands in the past, and it can be used for wastewater from agricultural systems as well.
So right here in Athens, Georgia, just a couple of days ago, there was a sewage leak and spill into Trail Creek, and there are signs all up along the river now saying don't go in the river, don't go in the creek, human sewage. Is your work at all applicable to things like that?
Well, it would be tough to sort of retrofit it so that it could be used to clean up a spill that's already happened, but we do know that there are natural wetlands in Trail Creek that have served in the past to help filter previous chemical spills. So I don't know if you remember the big fire at the chemical production plant that then released a lot of chemicals into Trail Creek. Well, downstream from that, there is actually a natural wetland that we know helped to sort of retain and then filter out a lot of those chemicals. And so it's the same sort of process with a natural wetland and a constructed wetland. So, I mean, it's applicable in that way.